At just past 6:30, a tallish man arrived at Holmes' door. "Mr. Henry Baker, I believe," said Holmes, rising to shake the stranger's hand. "Please, have a sit by the fire. It's a cold night." Our visitor did so, and we joined him. "Is that your hat, Mr. Baker?" asked Holmes, pointing to where it still hung on the chair. "It is indeed my hat," said the man. He had a massive head and a broad, intelligent-looking face. His hair and beard were brown, but going gray. His nose and cheeks were redder than normal, and his hands shook a bit. Signs of a drinking problem, as Holmes had thought. "We have had these things for a few days," said Holmes, "expecting to see an ad in the papers, giving your address. Why didn't you advertise?" Our visitor gave an embarrassed laugh. "I don't have as much money as I used to," he said. "I figured that the thugs had run off with my hat and goose, so it didn't seem worthwhile to me to spend money on an ad." "That makes sense," said Holmes. "Well, we had to eat the goose." "Eat it?" cried Baker. "It was about to spoil," said Holmes. "But will this other goose do? It's about the same size and weight as yours, and it's quite fresh." "Oh, that will be fine," said Baker, looking relieved. "We still have the feathers and innards of your bird, if you would like to have them." The man burst out laughing. "Why would I want them?" "I'll be happy to have just that excellent bird and my hat." Holmes shrugged his shoulders. "Very well, then. There you are." Baker rose and put the hat on his head, and the goose under his arm. "Do you mind if I ask you where your lost goose came from?" said Holmes. "I love a fine cooked bird, and that was one of the best I have ever had." "A group of my friends started a goose club," said Baker. "Each week, we gave a few pennies to Windigate, host at the Alpha Inn. And he put them away. At the end of the year, there was enough saved for each man to have a Christmas goose. Windigate ordered them and handed them out on Christmas Eve. The rest you know. I thank you, sir, and wish you both a happy New Year." Henry Baker bowed and left us. "Well, it's clear that he's innocent," said Holmes. "Care to join me, Watson? I want to follow up this clue while it's still hot."